Hello, welcome to my first ever bikepacking video. So this is where I complete the Remutaka trail, and I was using my bike with all the bags for the first time. So I spent the evening just packing it up and making sure everything worked, and then I left at 5 a.m. up through from Petone to Upper Hutt, sort of along the river, and I had this one little light. Most of it is not on the road, it's on this wee cycle trail, so it actually worked out really well. And then once you get through Upper Hutt, you start climbing a little bit, and you come to this point that's quite forested, and that continues into the Remutaka rail trail, which gets really scenic. It's absolutely stunning. So you can see on the map here, you go from Petone all the way up through Upper Hutt, and then to the start of the Remutaka rail trail, which is a part of the whole Remutaka trail circuit. And then there's quite an incline, just like a very gradual one. I actually kind of thought I had a flat tire the whole time, and I was just pumping through, and then suddenly I got to the summit, which was great, and I didn't even believe I was at the summit, but there's a big sign, and it was great. So then from the summit, it was really fun downhill and heaps of tunnels to go through. So even if you go just for a day on the Remutaka rail trail, bring a torch, because there's so many tunnels. And then just going blasting downhill from there to this wee plateau where you end up taking a right turn down the path.
Just had the funnest section of downhill. I'm so cold.
And make sure you bring lots and lots of snacks, especially chocolate. So then after you finish that wee bit of downhill, you end up biking along this road for quite a bit till you get out to the ocean. And my hands were actually so cold at this point because I'd been biking in the dark all morning. So also bring gloves, top tip, and bring some seat padding, because I also forgot to bring like a chamois or some bike pants. And if you're biking for more than like a couple hours, your bum starts to get very sore. And also, if you can, bring a GPS, because otherwise your phone battery dies. So top tips here. So you bike along the road and you start to get some beautiful views of the ocean, and it was actually the most amazing feeling, just having made it that far to the ocean. You feel so fulfilled that you've been up in the hills and then suddenly you're out on the open coastline, and there's a really lovely area with lots of beaches along that ocean front, and it's quite remote as well, but there's a few four-wheel drives, and I guess when I was doing it, it was a long weekend, so naturally there were quite a few people out there. I would highly recommend as well staying at Corner Creek campsite. I was planning on staying there, but I arrived there at 12 o'clock, and because I was doing a solo bikepacking mission, I thought, well, why don't I just keep going? So I stopped and had lunch, and then I hit the trail again and tried to see how far I could make it. And there was one little slip along the trail, but it was really easy to get over, and also sandy spots that I had to hop off and push my bike a few times. You could definitely be hardy and just go really slow and get maybe really fat tires and bike over it, but it was easy enough pushing the bike. There were heaps of water stations as well along the way, or rivers that you could fill up water, so that was no issue at all. But yeah, generally really good track, really beautiful scenery, and a really good time. So I ended up finishing the circuit in that day one, which was, I think it's like 102 k's or something. This was my Strava from that circuit. And then I made my way down to Catchpool Valley camping area, and stayed there the night and set up this wee lightweight tent that I had just bought, which I was actually stoked with. I think it's like 1.2 kg, and it was such a cool find, perfect for bike packing. I can put the name of it on the video here, and the stars were absolutely beautiful. So next morning, woke up and my bum was quite sore, so I ended up padding my seat with my fleece, and it worked fine. And then made my way back into Petone. It was pretty windy.
On the road again.
These are signs here that show you the Remutaka trail, and they're sort of dotted all around the entire trail, so you can keep an eye out for them, and they were actually really helpful at points. And then from there I went up this wee incline to a bridge, and then I could see Petone, and biked down, and that was the end of my loop. Yeah, highly recommend the trail. It was great for a first time bike packing trip, and really enjoyed it. Have fun, get out there.